So, selling. How many people like that word? Besides Paige, I know it doesn't. How many people don't?
I'm sorry. Oh, don't like the word?
Don't, yeah. So some people have, like some of us have already transformed that word in our mind, and we love it. But many people still have an old association. I don't want to sell. I don't want to be sold, because selling to them may mean manipulate, push, shove, intrude, dupe, use. To me, it means service. It actually comes from an old Norwegian word, selje, S-E-L-J-E, which translates into service. So that's what it originally was, to serve, to see what people need. And I like this quote, be the answer to people's prayers. But first, find out what their prayers are. And I got that from Larry Kendall, a realtor who developed a system called ninja selling. Really like that. Like, okay, if I come up and say, I've got the vitamin that you need, it doesn't really fit. I haven't talked to you or find out what you're really looking for yet. I'm intruding. So that's not really selling. Really selling is service, and ask questions first. And that's what Larry Kendall says in Ninja Selling. People can't hear the solution until they have the question. They can't see that you're the answer to their prayers until they actually know what their own prayers are, and you do too. And they realize they have a need for it. So the first thing I'd like you to do is make a list of the problems that your business solves. Your service, your product, your business opportunity. What problems? So just take a minute now. It's a very important exercise. Take a minute to write down the problems that you solve for people with your business. The problems you solve with your business. Problems people have. A lot of thinking going on. That's great. These should really be etched in your hand or on your memory, on your forehead. They should really be etched in your mind, because I'm going to show you how you can go about talking with people and moving through life and become aware of how and when you're the perfect fit. Now, okay, you got your problems that you solve. You're going to go meet a prospect. How many people think of Googling their website, your prospect's website, to learn as much as you can about them first?
Facebook and LinkedIn.
And LinkedIn and all those. Yeah. What do they like? What are their hobbies? And even maybe more to the point, what's their website about? Do they talk about their mission, their purpose, their values, their goals? Because that's going to be their why, and that's what you want to speak to. And those are the words that you can use back with them. Use their own words back with them. Aside from network marketing, I helped a lot of people land, big accounts or land jobs by using the very words that their boss, their company use back with them. So use their own words. That's their expression of their why, their values and goals. Another way to find out is when you meet them, or at a network marketing group, you meet somebody new, at a networking group, or just at Starbucks, or family reunion, or any social event. So how do you kind of break the ice? How do you kind of get to know them? How do you jump from hello, nice to meet you, to I'm the answer to your prayers? What happens in between? Anybody got an idea?
Find a common interest.
Mm-hmm.
Usually not business, because that kind of steers the whole conversation.
Mm-hmm.
Not about that.
Okay, and what happens when you find, that's good. What happens when you find a common interest? What happens to the two people?
You feel like you're friends in some way. You may not be fast friends. There's something that you can agree upon.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
And be able to discuss a little bit more, and it opens up.
You like dogs? I like dogs too. Oh, that's really cool. What kind of dog do you have? You got kids? Oh, yeah. You guys like to go to the mountains. You guys like to go to the beach. So yeah, right away there's a.
It's less stuffy.
Be real
Yeah.
with people, and talk about real life things that are deeper than deeper perhaps than business stuff that you have to discuss. It disarms people. It makes it not about a contentious or a negotiation relationship, but we're on the same team. We go through the same things. We have the same experiences.
So be real, be yourself, be honest. Share.
I had an interesting experience. Can everybody hear me? Okay, I had an interesting experience recently. I met a guy, didn't know him, saw him at another networking event, and when I tried to ask about him, he kind of blocked me. But then he said, he said, wasn't going to reveal anything. But then he said, "You look like a funny guy. Tell me a joke." So I told him a joke, and then he told me a joke, and we had a real rapport off the jokes, and now I'm going to go to his cooking class next week.
Is that chef?
And I'm not really that interested in food.
So where are you going?
But, I'm sorry?
Where are you going?
Well, I am interested in good food, and get to know him better. He's shown up for me as different. I like different. And kind of breaks the rules, which I like also. And I admire the guy. So I want to get to know him better. I want to get to know him better. It's kind of cool.
Some people actually lead that way more than with their product or business, but who they are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think especially in network marketing, we've got to lead with who we are. For better or for worse. Not everybody likes me. I know that comes as a shock.
No.
People either like me or hate me. That's just the way it's always been.
Good for you for being that much yourself, Frank.
Well, but better to get that out of the way now. Is this a person, are we going to be able to get rapport?
Okay.
And then move from there. I'll
like
let people decide.
I like that.
But anyway,
Thank you.
this guy was just,
Thank you.
I've never seen anybody do that. I don't want to talk about that. You look like a funny guy. Tell me a joke.
Yeah.
He didn't ask. He gave me an order. And I was kind of shocked. I've never seen anyone else do that.
You guys might have been the influential or fun personalities, which we'll talk about later on. So we found each other. All right, let's do our thing.
Okay.
Let's do our thing. So yeah, and two people of any, similar personality, oh, they're a good personality. They're like me, talking my language. So, well, we'll cover that in a minute too. Larry Kendall of Ninja Selling suggests using this technique. It's called FORD, F-O-R-D. And so you meet a new person, you walk into a room, you're shy or whatever. You can use FORD. You can ask them about family, occupation, recreation, and dreams. Pick any one, not all of them, but one. Okay. Got family, got children, or if you already know them, how's your family doing? How's your daughter doing? She's graduating from high school pretty soon. Does she have any dreams or plans to go on after that? How's occupation? How's business? How's things going for you? Has the recession hit your business like a lot of people? Or how has it affected your business? That's a perfect lead-in, of course, for all the reasons network marketing is a solution for a lot of people. And recreation, what you got planned this weekend? Or what'd you do this past weekend? Where'd you guys go on your vacation? How was that? And the dreams. That can be any aspiration. Again, your daughter she's graduating. Has she got any plans coming up? Talking about their goals, dreams. I know you were, you had a goal of sending your son to such and such college. How's that going for you? Depending on how well you know them and how comfortable you feel with the questions. But those are the areas that you can begin chatting with people. And so, as a lot of you already know, you can just be interested, care about them, and ask questions, ask the right questions. And what you do is you just keep asking questions and listening carefully until you hear the problems that your business solves. Until you hear the pain that they have in their life, or the challenges, the problems that you solve. So listen carefully for those problems, or for any other problems that somebody else can solve. Hook you up with so-and-so, somebody from a networking group that I know. So that's a service to them as well. And if you hook them up with somebody else, they'll remember you. Next time they see you, they'll be grateful that you solved one of their problems, even if it wasn't through your business, it's somebody else's business. And so next time, each time you help them in whatever way, they're more and more open to you. So there's a saying, people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. And this technique of really caring about people and asking about them, becoming interested in them. People love to talk about themselves. They just love it when somebody's interested in them. Like, what do you like doing? What's your favorite thing? Do you have any hobbies? What do you like? People love to have you be interested in. Dale Carnegie, How to Win Friends and Influence People, is all about that. The whole book basically boils down to people love your interest. And your curiosity about them. And they love to talk about themselves. So learn what you can until you see the hand that your glove is the perfect fit for. When you see that, you can ask more questions about that. The recession has affected your business. I hope not a lot. Yeah, it's decreased business 50%. Ooh, ouch. I imagine that's affected your family budget and your finances. Yeah, I don't know if I can send my kids to the same school that I was planning to send them to now. Or I don't know if we're going to have a vacation this year. Ooh, yeah, and so you can empathize. That's the next step. When you hear the problem, is empathize. Kind of repeat it back to them to let them know, that you have compassion, you understand, you hear. and to see if you got it right, and to invite them to say more. When you empathize, they often volunteer a little more if they're so inclined to. So you empathize a lot because that's their pain or the problem that you solve. And the more you can get that out in the open, the more information you have about that to see how your glove is a perfect fit for that hand. But a second thing that it does is helps people define their own pain. Maybe they hadn't been aware of it or talked about their distress about it much before. And remember, you can't be the solution to their problem until they know they have a problem. Maybe they have it, but maybe they don't know it, or know it to what extent, or haven't verbalized or to become aware of it. So this is a coaching technique too, but you're helping them to become aware of that problem, get it all out and get it on the table. The more they can get out and get on the table, the more they become aware of it, the more information you have about how to talk with them about how you're the perfect fit. Like, wow, if you ask about their business and the recession and yeah, I don't know if we're going to even take a vacation this year, and we really need one. We really need to get away. Our family needs to bond. We're all stressed and defragmented all over the place, and we really need to come together again. We feel like we know our old favorite place, going to the beach. We really feel like we need that. We'd really miss that this year. That must be tough. Yeah, your family is kind of on family peace and unity and cohesiveness is real. It might be on the line right now. Yeah, you know what? My neighbor Jim went through this same thing a few months ago, and I was fortunately able to help him with a little part-time income. And they're actually on vacation right now, in their favorite spot again. And he goes, your friend that you're talking to is likely to say what? Oh, I'm not interested. They're likely to say, what? Yeah. How'd you do that? How did he do that? So then there's your story. So if you have a bunch of stories at hand, you get a bunch of information about what they're needing, get the information about their pain again, have a few stories on hand, yours or other people's in your company or industry to use. Borrow some until you have your own. But after a while, you're going to gain your treasury of stories and be able to pull them out. So you can match that up. Another thing that you can say is you hear their pain. And another thing is that's exactly what I help people do. Somebody just can't, their income is decreased and they're just like $400 short every month on their bills. They're spending their savings and they're going nuts and they don't know what to do about that. It's hard to go out and take another job, more childcare, et cetera, more expenses and transportation, all that stuff. And so you could say, you know what? That's exactly the problem that I help people solve, or that I helped Nancy solve with her family. And now she's making an extra $600 a month and actually can save a little bit of money rather than spend her savings. Really, how did she do that? And I like stories that are true and that that you can tell, because it isn't just theory. I can help you do this. I helped somebody do this. It's true. It's a fact. How did they do it? And are they any different than me? So you show how they're just like you. It's just an everyday person. It's just my neighbor. Just an everyday guy. Didn't have any special training or whatever. But I showed him how to do it. Free training, low startup cost. So Ford, our brilliant Cody Davis, has given us a way to remember Ford. He said, to ford is like to cross a stream. And so the stream is like the gap between you and me. And you build a bridge and get over it, or you ford the stream. And if this water is icy, you can use Ford as an icebreaker, he says. And finally, you can't afford not to use it. These are Cody's. Thank you, Cody. He called me up and said, "Hey, you could use these." So first, empathize and connect a lot all you can flesh up about their story, their pain, their problem. Second, that's exactly what I help people with. That's exactly what Jim overcame. And third, if I could show you a way to solve that, would you like to hear a little bit about it? Nobody ever says no. So you get their permission, you get them to say yes. Anytime in selling that you can get somebody to say yes to you, their mind opens. And again, their mind opens a little bit more to you and trusts and is open to what you have to say as a solution.
What's the third step?
If I could show you a way
Okay.
to solve that problem, would you like to hear a little bit about it? So I'd like to take the next 10 minutes and handle objections this way. Let's see, practice. There it was again. This is exactly what we do in the MLM Millionaire Club on the calls, is we practice a lot of things. We cover everything on the calls and in the weekly lessons that we have. The MLM Millionaire Club is a school for network marketers that I founded, opened last year. And it's a membership site and club, and includes teleclasses, live group coaching teleclasses. So one of the things we do on the calls is to practice selling skills.